Hello and welcome to Concrete Pros. I'm Brett DeRoche, and today we're going to talk about contractor sprayers. This sprayer right here is an industry-leading sprayer. It's a 3.5 gallon steel tank with a tripoxy line tank. And tripoxy is put inside the tank to resist corrosion and any type of dents and damages. It's just great for keeping your product pure. The 2-foot wand comes with a hose, 4 foot. Also has this great little shutoff, which I'm going to show you right here. This anti-fatigue shutoff is really handy. So if you're getting tired when you're spraying, you just hold that sprayer tip down, lock it in place, let it go, and that will keep your sprayer running indefinitely until the pressure runs out. To knock it off, you just push this down, pull that clip out, and you're back to the original state. Comes with a 1/2 gallon tip, and this sprayer is great for spraying curing compounds or water-based products. This is not a sprayer that you're going to want to use with a corrosive product like a concrete sealer or something, and I'm going to show you the difference in a minute. It comes with a 3-point pressure pump assembly, and this pressure pump assembly is pretty easy to use once you get the hang of it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But right here, this gasket is black, and this is just a regular water-based gasket. I'm going to show you what an extreme gasket and the difference is shortly here. So we pump this back in here. You want to turn the handle counterclockwise all the way. Then you slide that plate all the way to the right, and then you're just going to crank this all the way to the right. Get it tight, you don't have to put your back into it, and then you're pressurizing your product and you're ready to spray. This is a great tank for general purpose use, form oils, like I said, water-based curing compounds, and so on and so forth. Moving on to something a little heavier duty. This is an extreme sprayer with a dripless shut-off wand. Now you can tell the extreme by the X right here, and I'm going to show you right now what the extreme seal looks like. Very similar to the other one, but easily identifiable by the different color. So that is an extreme seal. This sprayer is approved for spraying concrete sealers, penetrating sealers, anything like that. It's just heavier duty than your water-based guy. The pump assembly is exactly the same and operates the same way. Turn everything counterclockwise, slide that plate over. There's 3 points of contact here. You're going to want it to make sure it's in the far right spot, and then you just crank that to the right, pressurize up, and you're ready to go. This dripless shutoff wand is really interesting because it actually locks in the off position, whereas some of the other shutoffs lock in the on position. This shutoff, when it's put on like this, the shutoff is actually right here. So that's what makes this wand dripless. It's very cool. It's a lot easier to spray. It's good on the hands. This is one of our favorites. 4-foot hose again, comes with different tips, and if you're looking at this right here, this thing on the side of it, you just pop your extra tips in there to make sure that you don't lose them. Moving on to the last metal sprayer I'm going to show you. This is also an extreme tank, but this one can handle a little harsher chemicals again. So if you're using a lot of different chemicals, you might want to consider using a stainless steel model. There's not a tripoxy coating inside because the stainless steel is good enough for that. The shutoff is equipped with an extreme shutoff gasket in there. It works the same way, but it's just red, so you know it's an extreme and you can use it with the more aggressive chemicals. Lock that baby on. Works exactly the same. What's interesting with a lot of these sprayers, if you have your wand on site and you step on your wand or somebody breaks your wand, you can actually take the tip off of it and put it right on the shutoff. Now it's obviously not ideal, but it's going to get you out of trouble, and then you can use it that way. Alternatively, what you can do is you can take a 2-foot extension, also put that on your shutoff, attach your wand to that, and now you've got 4 feet of reach. So you can get the idea and make your life a lot easier by having some of these parts accessible to yourself. This is a filtered outlet tube. In some sprayers, when the tanks get older, they get banged up a little bit, there can be debris that falls in there. This little brass wand is actually inside every tank, but they don't come with the little filter on there. So it's real easy to install. You can see right here, it's just something you unscrew, pop that in, goes right underneath this hose, and then this, when it pulls up your product, it's going to keep your product clear and free of any debris. We also recommend this because cleaning out your sprayer with pieces of debris in there, it's kind of a pain. Speaking about cleaning out sprayers, the best way to do it is to open up your sprayer. Check and see what you've got in there first. You don't want to dump whatever's left in your sprayer out because the 4-inch opening has a lip on it. It's just going to end up making a mess. So whatever's left in your sprayer, pressurize it up and then run that product back into the existing container that you've taken it out of, and then reuse it for another job. Once you're done that, you're going to want to clean your sprayer. And the best thing to clean your sprayer after spraying concrete sealers is xylene. Easy to use. You dump the xylene into the can, pressurize the can up, make sure that you have all of the parts that you are using so you don't have any clogs. Put this stuff all back together and run that xylene right through the container into the original xylene container, and you can reuse this stuff multiple times. You should never run out of it. And that's really, really important. If you don't do that and you don't clean your sprayer out properly, it's going to cause a lot of problems. Once you're done cleaning it, you're going to want to take this out and you're going to want to hang it on a hook somewhere. Don't leave it in the tank. If you pressurize your tank up, like I showed you earlier, the way this works, if you pressurize your tank up and yet it still won't hold pressure, you might have a problem with gaskets. Now there's replacement gasket kits available for these types of sprayers. And again, if you're using an extreme sprayer, make sure you get an extreme repair kit. The gaskets that give us the most problems are this one that's right under here. There's one that's under here that hides too. This one sometimes pops out and it's kind of tricky if you don't know where it is. The third gasket that gives us trouble is right underneath this brass piece right here. So just give that a turn and then you can replace that gasket as well. Put it back on, put it back in. Make sure that everything's turned counterclockwise so that plate is in the lowest position. Slide it all the way far right, and then clockwise you're going to want to turn that up, and then you're ready to pressurize your sprayer up again. A common user issue, and we see this a lot, is if you do not have this 3-point plate in the right position, what happens is you'll go to try to turn this nut on top. And I'll show you here. I'll do it incorrectly just to show you. So it goes in like this. There is one other position before the third lock position, and that position is to stop the sprayer from maybe having pressurized and then to blow apart into pieces. So all the way counterclockwise, it will put that plate all the way down, slide it to the right, and then clockwise you'll see that plate coming right up again. And that's going to lock it into place. If you got to put your back into it and you're cranking this thing and it still won't pressurize, you're doing it wrong. Stop. You're going to damage your sprayer. Back it off. Make sure that you have that plate in the lowest position. Pop it in here, slide it over, and then go clockwise. That is by far the most common thing that people have, the common problem that people have with them. Check your gaskets out and make sure your gaskets are clean. Always clean your sprayer out and make sure that any leftover residue is definitely cleaned out. You don't want to be mixing products unnecessarily and spraying them on your concrete. Another thing that common users do is they pick the wrong sprayer for the wrong product. You're going to want to put a water-based product into the water-based sprayer. You're going to want to put a solvent-based product in the solvent-based sprayer. But when it comes to acid staining, you're not going to want to put acid stain in another one of those. You're going to want to use the 1-gallon acid stain sprayer or a 2-gallon acid stain sprayer. Now these are designed specifically for acid staining. They have acid-resistant hoses, acid-resistant shutoff, and acid-resistant wand and tip. It's very easy to use. This just screws off. You fill the product up, tighten it back on, pressurize it up, and away you go. What's interesting about this one is it also has a pressure relief valve right here. So that's a good feature of that sprayer as well. But if you're doing acid staining, these are the sprayers you're going to want to use. If you're doing concrete sealing, these are the sprayers you're going to want to use. If you're cleaning it out, this is the product you're going to want to use. And you're going to want to make sure that you have extra parts with you at all times. Just throw them in the glove box, because when you're out on a site and your sprayer doesn't work, you know what it's like. I don't need to tell you. So those are the industry leading concrete sprayers. And just before I let you go, I'm going to show you one more neat trick. All right, so one more thing I wanted to show you was the ability to get this hooked up to a chop saw or a concrete saw. You need water on your blades when you're running your blades and you're cutting concrete. You got to keep them cool, but there's no access to water anywhere. Fill your sprayer up with water. You've got your shutoff. You just hook it up to this hose that hooks directly into your cutoff saw. Pressurize this up. Put this down and put the anti-fatigue lock on. Start your saw up and start cutting, and this will feed water right into your blade. So it's just another versatile thing to use for a sprayer that you might not think that a sprayer is good for that, but great idea, and it works great, especially if you're out in an area where there's no access to water. Want to learn more about sealing concrete? Make sure you check out our Choosing the Right Sealer video to determine which product you need and give you an idea of what's available on the market. Thanks for watching Concrete Pros. You can follow us at #ConcreteAnswers and click the link below for more information. Thanks again for watching. I'm Brett DeRoche, and we'll see you next time.